Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing the next movie, Nightmare on Elm Street series, which is A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, which came out in 1989. Plot of this movie is about Alice from the previous movie, The Dream Master. She's now pregnant with a baby, and Freddy's trying to reborn himself into the baby to come into the real world. And so she's not trying to let that happen, so Freddy starts attacking her group of friends, and Alice has to protect her friends and her baby. Okay, that's the basic plot. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this movie, and it's mainly because of it dealing with a baby and motherhood and stuff, and teen pregnancy, and it's the fifth movie in the series, so they had to do something a little bit different with it, and I don't mind it that much. I don't know why people gripe about that. They gripe about part 2 because Freddy gets pulled into the real world, and then they gripe about this because, it deals with motherhood and birth and stuff. And I'm like, they're trying to, I know it's not hitting the target audience, but they had to try something different, and honestly, I don't mind this movie at all. It's kind of like there's some dumb elements to it, and you could tell this is where the series was really hitting its low point. But I enjoy some aspects of it. I enjoy the artistic look of it. I enjoy the death scenes, the makeup effects and stuff. But anyways, so some of the cool death scenes in it, well, two in particular that stick out to me, is Alice's boyfriend is riding a motorcycle. He's trying to leave a pool party, but Freddy takes him back because Freddy's trying to get a hold of Alice. So her boyfriend gets on a motorcycle to go get her. So Freddy possesses the motorcycle, and he starts sticking wires in the boyfriend and injecting him with fuel and turning his body into metal and stuff. And he looks like this deformed monstrosity. He looks really creepy looking, really and how he's being taken over and stuff looks really painful because he's screaming in pain and stuff. And I don't think they did show ever release the uncut version of that death scene, because on the Never Sleep Again documentary, they show a side by side comparison of the cut scene, the cut death, the theatrical release of the death, and then the uncut version. And I know the uncut version is longer and much more bloodier and gorier. And what they had in the theatrical cut is still pretty graphic, and it's still impactful, because he dies. In reality, he gets in a car accident, and he dies. And Alice finds him, and then, now she's a single mom, and she has to raise his baby. The other cool death scene is that she has this friend who is wants to be a model or actress, I think, and she's bulimic, and so she has a dream where Freddy starts forcing food into her mouth and stuff, and her cheeks are starting getting big and stuff, and then Freddy starts digging into her stomach and feeding her pieces of her stomach and stuff, and then Freddy goes, "Bon appetit, bitch." And there's another death scene. I kind of like it better than the karate death scene from the Dream Master. There's this geeky guy who's really into comic books, and he's kind of dressed like a steampunk character. He gets pulled into this dream, but it's kind of black and white and set up kind of like a comic book. And then you see Super Freddy, which is like Freddy like jacked up, like he's like very muscular, like, and he's like wearing a cape, and he has like an S on his chest, like on his sweater, and he's like, I'm Super Freddy. And then like him and the guys start fighting each other, and then Freddy jumps onto his skateboard and like rides up to him and slashes him because like the guy's like paper now, and he slashes him, and he goes, "Told you, comic books are bad for you," and like, so he gets trapped in the comic book. This wasn't a death scene, but it was a pretty cool scene. She has Alice has a friend who's like she's like a swimmer. She likes to swim, so she's like at a pool, I guess, trying to like clear her mind. And like the board and stuff, like when she gets on the board, it looks like she's having vertigo. Like it's like everything's like, like when you're looking down and you get vertigo, and you're like everything looks like it's much higher than it is. And then like Freddy like claws like the boards turn into like Freddy's claws and try to come after her. There's like a really creepy scene where like Alice goes to the hospital, and she has a dream where she's like in a gothic hospital, and she's dressed up like a nun, and she sees like a baby fetus, a Freddy fetus, or like crawling around, and it goes into this body, and it forms into full grown Freddy, the adult Freddy. And then there's like a baby carriages with spikes chasing after her. So I remember what else, like some of the other scenes, because I don't watch this movie that much, but there's just like some weird, like cool gothic imagery in it. Because like the church she goes into, like at the ending, I'll get into the ending, the finale. So she goes into this church from the fourth movie, and she finds out that in order to defeat Freddy, she has to give her the powers in her that he gave her back to him. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. In her baby, and you actually see the baby as a kid in this movie. His name is Jacob. But so I don't understand what the hell happened, but like Freddy's like fighting her. He's trying to get out of her body, and she's trying to get him out. And like you see like one side is her, and then like Freddy's popping out the other side, and they're like trying to fight and stuff. Then he gets out, and then she's like, "You gotta Jacob, you gotta give him the power he gave you back to him," and or something like that. It was, I don't know, it's a weird ass death scene, but like Jacob, he goes like, "School's out, Krueger," and like shoots out like a tongue thing out of his mouth, and it hits Freddy and it kills him. I mean, there was more to that, but that's all I can remember. And I was just like, I don't know, I'm telling you, these death scenes in part 4 and 5 just don't make no sense to me. And so I guess Alice, she has her baby, and the baby's gone, and Freddy's gone, so, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not a movie I watch often, but I mean, I still, it's enjoyable to me. I mean, I can watch it and still like, be like, that's alright, it's like, it's, like I said, it's enjoyable, it's a time waster to me. Like, it doesn't bother me. I like some of the imagery. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, where she's in the, trying to defeat Freddy at the end. There's like stairs like this, and I think it's called the Escher, he's a painter. But like Freddy's running up this way up the stairs, like he's running up like that, and then she's like running down, or Jacob's like running down the stairs, like he's running, like here's the stairs, Freddy's running up it, and then here's the bottom, and like Jacob's like running under, like upside down underneath it and stuff. It's like really cool looking. I thought that scene That scene, see, that's what I liked was the imagery in it and the some of the special effects, like especially the motorcycle death scene. That was really cool. The scene where Freddy was trying to and Alice were trying to break out of each other. That was cool. What else? The girl the girl eating her own body, or Freddy force feeding her own body. I thought that was a pretty cool death scene. But anyways, that's my review.